Okay, so for our rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch, you're gonna need some type of bench or a box to set up behind you, and some type of pad maybe for your knee, just for a little bit of comfort so you're not driving straight into the hard ground. Either use a pad or a gym mat, something like that. So I'm gonna set up here, and I'm gonna do my left leg so you can see me. So we're gonna set up with our left leg on the bench just like this, shoelaces down, knee on the mat. This leg's gonna come up on this side. We're gonna start with if my left knee is on the ground, I'm gonna start with my left hand on the ground, and I'm gonna squeeze this left butt cheek. So I'm gonna squeeze, and then I'm gonna sit up nice and slow. From here, I can already feel a deep stretch right here in my hip flexor. Make sure those ribs stay down and that core stays engaged. We don't wanna do this. As soon as we do that, we lose a little bit of that stretch, and we start to feel a little bit in our lower back, something we definitely don't wanna do. So if my hips, you can kind of see my hips shifting back, we want to imagine driving our hips forward, keeping our ribs down. So if my hips are back here and my ribs are flared, I want to get a full exhale to get those ribs down first. From there, you can see my glutes started pressing forward, or I'm sorry, tilting forward, and that's ultimately what we want here. So right now, this glute is still turned on. I feel a big stretch right here. Ribs are down. Now I just do deep breaths. You can add a little bit of movement into it here. If you want, you can bring this hand up, rotate around, just like that. That's the rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch. Oftentimes what some people do is they have a bench that's a little bit too high, and maybe your legs are, if you have shorter legs, you're gonna want a lower bench or a lower box, because if not, you're gonna be forced to be too high, and that's gonna force you into a poor position, and you're not gonna get as good of a stretch.